Happy Valentine's Day! Today I'm treating myself to some cheese fondue. This is just some of the packaged stuff that you can buy in a box. This is what I got. Super easy, just heat it up in a little pot. I'm doing this on the stove today, even though I do have a proper fondue pot. I just don't feel like lighting the fire with alcohol and stuff. So today I have I made these this morning, some raspberry chocolate mochi muffins, some toasted baguette, and some cubes of Granny Smith apples. And we're just gonna dip this in cheese and have fun. Yeah, so I mean, I'm just going to enjoy myself. And probably talk about self-love. That is mostly what I've been talking about in the past few years for any Valentine's specials on my channel. And I mean, being able to love yourself is just such a gift, because then you feel like you don't really need anybody else in your life. But so good. I am also saying this as an asexual person. And I know this is really improper. You're not supposed to actually eat off the dipping fork. It's just for dipping into the cheese, and then you're supposed to transfer onto a plate and use a proper knife or proper fork to eat it then. But you know, it's just me. I'm not sharing this with anybody. It makes me so happy. And that's the thing about being able to love yourself fully. It's like you don't have to share your amazingness and your love with anybody else. Sure, you can be absolutely selfish or whatever, but you have so much to give yourself, and you're saving it all for yourself. And again, I know as an asexual person, I'm probably saying this out of a lot of privilege, that I just don't really feel the need to share my life with somebody else. I'm also somewhere on the aromantic spectrum too. And the thing is, I mean, it took me a very long time to get to where I am, being happy with who I am and not needing somebody else to fill a void for me. I'm going to move this microphone up. And again, just my observation from being an asexual, aromantic person. But a lot of the times I feel when people are unhappy and they're looking for somebody else to fill a void for them, it's because they haven't fully learned to love themselves and be happy with their own company. And so I feel like it's a bit unhealthy to go looking for somebody else to fill something that can only be filled by you. And the thing is, like, you deserve to be happy with who you are. You deserve to love your own company. You deserve to feel like you're happy just the way you are. And that if you do want somebody in your life, it's because you want to share the amazingness with them, and not because you're looking for them to fill something for you. I know I'm saying a lot for somebody who doesn't have a lot of experience with romantic relationships. the heat down just a little. But these are just my observations in my years of adulthood that I've had. And I mean, Valentine's Day is they market it mostly as romantic love, and I guess historically that was the whole reason for, getting people married and being able to spend your life with somebody that you love. But in recent years anyway, I feel like also with Christmas, it's all about consumerism and what you can buy somebody that you're romantically interested in. And once I became content that I didn't need to be in a romantic relationship to be happy, I was like, I don't want to spend this day just, specifically for couples. I exist too. I deserve to do something special for myself to do too, even if I don't have somebody romantic to share it with. Why don't I just treat myself as if I'm on a date with myself? And here you are, having a whole pot of cheese fondue. All to myself. And it is wonderful. Like, I only do this once a year because having a whole pot of this can't be very good for my health, but it is indulgent. It makes me happy, but it's also for a special occasion. So if you are watching this and you feel like you're a little lonely and you feel like you're not able to spend it with somebody that you're interested in, or you feel like you want somebody in your life that you're interested in so you can share something with them, why don't just treat yourself as if you're on a date with yourself. Use the money that you would have used toward buying somebody else a gift or taking them on a date, and treat yourself. Because you know what you like. You know what you want. You know how to treat yourself well. Well, I hope you do. And even if you don't, just take some time to get to know yourself better. I mean, I'm just doing this at home. But it's also nice to be able to go out somewhere and just eat a nice meal by yourself and not be embarrassed that you're by yourself. You're enjoying your own company. And if other people are judging you for that, well, they've got their own insecurities to deal with. And I'm not saying that romantic relationships need to be like shamed or whatever. It's more like when you get to the point where you want to share your amazing life with somebody else, that is probably the healthiest time to be in a romantic relationship, because I'm going to eat this piece first. if you've already done the work to love yourself fully and in a healthy way, and you still have some, you might want to, there's some things that are better doing it with somebody else, like going on a road trip. Sure, you could go on a solo road trip, but me, being a woman, it's not exactly safe sometimes. So you could just have like a life partner. It doesn't even have to be romantic. It could be absolutely platonic. And you're just sharing experiences with them because you enjoy their company and you're already a whole person. And you're not looking for somebody else to fill a void within you that you haven't tackled yet. Because, yeah, it can be scary to dig deep within your own psyche and ask yourself, why is it that I don't love myself fully? I think that's really scary for a lot of people, to just be able to dig down into their own psyche and understand some things. At least for me, I had vanity before, yeah. And I know, like, I'm a pretty amazing person. I've gotten to the point where I'm able to see that again. Like, I have a lot to offer somebody else. But, just like this pot of fondue, I'm keeping it all to myself because I have a lot to offer, and I've been taken advantage of before, where I've just been taken from and taken from and taken from, and I need to keep more of that to myself, for myself. And as I was saying before, I was mostly vanity, like, yes, I do amazing things. I am such a cool person. But that was really just on the surface, and it was tied to my productivity and my creativity and my output, but not so much who I am. And that was like, if I were unable to fulfill somebody else's wants from me, like being able to produce a good book, then I would take it personally that I wasn't as great of a person as I had thought myself to be. But that wasn't true. It was just that I didn't produce a book that was able to be sold. And that's not entirely my fault. There's so many other people who are involved in the publishing industry. I think I'm starting to get crispy bits at the bottom. And so that's when I start to learn, like, life isn't about just being productive and what you can offer other people. It's also who remains when what you make nobody else wants. Who else is there? And are you really living for yourself, or are you just living for validation from other people? And it's nice to get validation from other people, but you also need to learn to validate yourself. Be enough for yourself. And treat yourself like I'm treating myself through this fondue. And don't treat yourself just based on, like, oh, I did really well at work this week. Do it just because you want to, because sometimes you will have bad days at work. And it's not because you're a bad person. There's so many other factors that go into making work productive. And of course, self-care isn't all about indulgence. It's nice every night, once in a while. But you still need to do the tough things that come with self-care. You need to be a better parent to yourself. You need to eat your vegetables when you need to. You need to go exercise to keep yourself healthy. You need to drink water. You need to do the tough thing, like go through a bunch of providers' phone numbers and try to determine for yourself which one is best for me, and actually follow up on those calls so you can get the treatment that you need. It's not often glamorous, but even romantic love seldom can be. When you're in a relationship, oftentimes you get used to one another, and doing those big grand gestures can be really tiring after a while. So it's the little things that really mean something. Anyway, I have Granny Smith apples because it goes really well with cheese, and I also dip it into cookie butter from Trader Joe's. This stuff. Warm it up in the microwave, and then dip your apple slices in it. So good. They made raspberry white chocolate mochi muffins because, you know, they're pink too, and I feel like strawberries are overrated for a lot of, I mean, sure, they're cute, they're red, they're heart-shaped, but I just feel like strawberry is such a standard, basic flavor. And I like raspberries better. They're more tart. And also because I wanted to put white chocolate in them, the white chocolate balances out the tartness of the raspberries. And I'm not sure if that would really be the same for strawberries. At least for strawberries, I could probably put dark chocolate in there. But I had white chocolate chips left over from the holidays when I was making the peppermint white chocolate mochi muffins. Bottom here is starting to turn into like a cheese cracker. It's starting to bubble and brown. Good stuff. I used to laugh about Valentine's Day being Singles Awareness Day. I'm sure sometimes it can be, but would that really bother somebody who loves themselves fully and doesn't need somebody else to fill a void for them? And just because I'm speaking from the privilege of somebody who realized somewhere on the aromantic spectrum and do not need that kind of love in my life, it doesn't invalidate the fact that I believe it's really important to love yourself and become a whole person. And I really want that for you. You deserve to be a whole person, and you deserve to love yourself fully. And you deserve to have the crunchy cheese at the bottom of this fondue pot and not share it with anybody else. And when you become a whole person and realize you're amazing and you have so much to offer somebody else in a relationship, but you're going to wait for the right person, because it probably does you more harm than good just to fill the void with somebody who isn't right. And with somebody who takes and takes and takes away your amazingness that you could have kept all to yourself, all for yourself. But then the right person comes along, and they are also a whole person. And what they have to add to your life is a whole new perspective. And it's not necessarily filling a void, it's just widening your horizons. Maybe then you realize something that you didn't know you needed. And maybe you didn't need it, but it's a nice to have. And nice to haves are different from needing something. I'm just gonna let that little spot bubble and take some of the rest here. I'll let that cheesy goodness bubble up and get crispy. And while that's doing that thing, I'll have one mochi muffin. There it is. Little white chocolate. Got some wire rack marks there. So good, makes me happy. I didn't add any sugar because I used raspberry jam and white chocolate, which are pretty sweet. And I don't like my things to be overly sweet. So that was just enough sugar. I used freeze-dried raspberries pulverized into a powder, and that was very tart. But the white chocolate and the raspberry jam are definitely balancing it out. Such a good combination. Get my spatula. And just gently start picking up the crispy bits here at the bottom. If I do not manage to get this out, I'll just tell you, it's like eating a Cheez-It, a fancier Cheez-It. This is sticking a little harder than I thought it would. Be careful here, I don't want to scratch the non-stick surface. Crunchy, cheesy, so good. Turning the heat off now. Anyway, that's it for a Valentine's hangout, I guess. Hope you have a great day. And if you don't already have plans, treat yourself to something. Like I said, you know what you like. You deserve to love yourself. You deserve to take yourself out on dates every now and then. Make the day yours so you don't feel like you're being left out. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. I hope this inspired you to get something delicious or do something really nice for yourself. And I'll see you next time.